Greetings and welcome to Connecting with Intent Show. I'm your host Muhammad Awais. On this episode, we have a very amazing personality. He is the storytelling strategist, brand builder, and communication consultant at Pascua Corporation. Jay Pascua. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Jay Pascua. Jay, welcome.
Hi. Good morning from this part of the world.
Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Wow. Um, actually, I'm a storytelling strategist. And what happened to get me here was actually as a result of being on LinkedIn. I used to be in the call center business. And in the call center business, I really wanted to branch off and return to my roots because before that, I was a journalist and a writer. And I said, well, how can I make that a business? And LinkedIn actually paved the way for me to do that. I was actually part of a group of people that used all their skills to help others. And so that was my goal, to live in my purpose as a storyteller, return to my roots as a writer, as a poet, as somebody that would have an impact in other people's lives. And the more I thought about it, I know how to tell a story, but other people may not. And I wanted to help those people. And that's why I became the storytelling strategist. And there were several people there along the way. I was part of a collective group of people, and they helped to guide me in that direction. And I've been there ever since, and that was about a year ago. So,
Thank you for sharing your story. What is your higher purpose in life?
oh wow, my higher purpose in life really, again, it goes back to what I just talked about. Because I'm a storyteller, I believe truly that sharing our stories will allow us to see the similarities as human beings more so than our differences, whether it be religion, politics, maybe even sports, right? This may be sacrilegious, but I'm not a cricket fan. and so and so for some people that's not, that's not their goal, that's not their intention. But in storytelling, when we share our stories, we're sharing our humanity with others. We all know across the globe pain, suffering, joy, love, happiness, empathy, and compassion. All of these things are human emotions. The other thing is, we can help others achieve success with our stories. We can help others through their adversity by being an example of overcoming our adversities. And so storytelling is truly important. And that's why I'm living in my higher purpose as the storytelling strategist.
That's a powerful purpose. What have been top three greatest challenges that you have had to overcome?
One is my own limiting beliefs. Some of us, have to understand that there are going to be challenges in life and there's going to be adversity. It's how we overcome that adversity. It's how we push through the struggles of daily life that's going to help us achieve success. And so having a positive mindset is something that I work on constantly. Meditation, prayer, things like that that would help me internally. So that's one of the biggest challenges. The other one is uh, I survived what's called a tornado back a few years. And that was a really traumatic experience. And I still have a little bit of trauma as a result of that. And so I've taken that, though, and uh, not as a challenge, but as an opportunity to grow and to understand how I can thrive even as a result of that trauma. That was a really big challenge in my life historically. And the last one is, I survived an actual storm, but every day we experience storms as human beings symbolically, right? Loss of a family member, you know, um, losing a client through no fault of your own, things like that, right? But it goes back to my first challenge, and that's trying to ensure I have a positive mindset, even in the face of daily challenges. So I think those are the three greatest challenges that I can think of.
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from
Oh, I think learning how to cope with something that was out of your control, right? I believe that was m- my greatest failure, but it became my greatest triumph. So I did not know how to overcome such a huge traumatic experience like losing my home, losing my car, and nearly losing my life and the life of my loved ones. And in that moment, I felt like I failed. Like I wasn't able to protect my family. I didn't know, and then did not know how to recover from that. But understanding the fact that I needed to keep a positive mindset allowed me to see myself through that traumatic experience. Having that positive mindset, going back and praying, having meditation, these are the things that got me through it. And overall, I came up with a mantra for myself: by my faith and my DNA, I got this.
What is the most impactful book you have read and what did you learn from it?
The most impactful book. So for me, I'm a Christian, but I want to let people understand that a book that's been around for many ages, right, still has practical ways of applying what I've learned in those books, because there's different books in the Bible. And so I've learned to understand some of the tenets that have existed for hundreds of years and applying those to my daily life, right? And I think everyone, whether whatever faith you're in, right, we have books, things that we can look at in text, even though they're hundreds of years old, can allow us to see how that can help us today. The wisdom in those books, in faiths all across the globe, can allow us to help us in this modern time. I truly believe that.
What are your goals for the next 12 months?
One of the things I want people to know is I've got a book, and it's going to be published on December 12th. It's going to launch actually on December 12th. And this is going to launch the next part of my career. I'm starting a business, and that business is going to help other businesses, small businesses. I want to give back to the globe, basically, for allowing me to be the storytelling strategist. And the way I'm going to do that in the next 12 months is through helping people build their brand, their content, their engagement. The other thing is, I've partnered with a financial institution, and I believe in order to scale, sometimes you're going to need capital to do that, and I'm going to help people do that. I've also partnered with an outsourcing company, and that outsourcing company basically will allow small businesses to have access to call center employees, virtual assistants, marketing people. Normally something that a big corporation would have at their disposal. If we outsource it, we can help you scale your business. And so that's my plan for the next 12 months. So next year. And so be on the lookout for that. But all of this started with storytelling. The power of storytelling can help you grow your business as well.
What advice you will give to younger yourself?
This is such a good one. Going back to having a positive mindset. Some people see this as storytelling like knights in shining armor and unicorns and fairy tales. But sometimes you need to take a moment and visualize talking to your younger self. Maybe your time as a 12-year-old or 13-year-old, some point in your young life where you were going to experience a pivotal moment. And so take your young person's hand, your young self, take your hand in yours, your adult self, visualize this and have a conversation and say, hey, Jay, you're 12, you're about to be 13. A lot of changes are going to happen physically, mentally, emotionally, in your environment, all of that. Don't worry, you'll get through it. And when you become an adult, learn from all your experiences. You'll get through that as well. And by your faith and your DNA, you got this.
That's a great advice, Jay. Now, how can we support you?
I have a LinkedIn profile. If you need help, the best way you can support me is by me supporting you. If you need to build your brand, if you need help with your content, if you need to engage your employees, I'm on LinkedIn. Find me there, set up an appointment, book a call with me, and I'll be glad to help you. I'm also, again, launching this book on December 12th. And it is the rules of engagement in storytelling. Storytelling is important. At the core of anything we do when we communicate with someone, it's a story. There's a story behind it. So I truly believe effective communication starts with a story. And if you're going to do anything in life, if you want to memorialize a person who has passed away in your life, you need to be able to tell a story. If you are a best man at someone's wedding and they call upon you to give some anecdotes of your life. You want to be able to rely on that person to tell a great story at your wedding. If you're an entrepreneur who's starting a business, people need to know about your business and your story as a founder of that business. All of these things. So by supporting me, going on LinkedIn, booking a call so that you get the help you need to tell your story, I'm also supporting you. So thank you so much for the opportunity and the time to talk today.
What would you say about your guest appearance on the show?
Wow. I've never experienced an interview like this where it was efficient, succinct, and you let me talk a lot. So I truly appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Jay. I really appreciate you for this. What closing thoughts would you like to share with our listeners?
I think that one of the things I just want people to understand is what I want to go back to. A couple of things. You have to have a positive mindset. A positive mindset would allow you to move through adversity, and wherever there's struggle, you're going to be able to get through it because you have that positive mindset. And I'm all about storytelling, right? You just heard me talk about it. But one of the things I want people to learn is the stories you tell others is important. It unites us as human beings. But the other story that's just as important is the story you tell yourself. And if your story that you're telling yourself is, I'm a failure, I'm never going to be able to get through to this, I'm never going to launch my business, I'm never going to write that book, I'm never going to tell my story, it's going to be hard, it's going to be. If you keep telling yourself that story, then it's going to come true. But if you tell the story of positivity, I'm going to make it, I'm going to write this book, I'm going to tell my story, my business is going to be phenomenal in the next year, in 2025. That story is going to help you through life.
Thank you so much, Jay, for sharing your wisdom with us today. On the behalf of Connecting with the Intent Community and our entire team, we really appreciate you. This is Muhammad Awais. Until the next episode, all good wishes.